At the Europe Hotel School in London, students are taught a rigid operational truth about luxury hospitality. The front office is the nerve center of a hotel, and its success relies on a strict collective architecture. This architecture is built on a single baseline axiom. Guests arriving at a property do not evaluate the hotel by looking at its individual specialized departments. Looking at this structural dashboard, we can isolate the guest experience. To the consumer inside that boundary, the entire property is experienced as a single entity, providing one continuous service delivery. The internal reality of the hotel is quite different. The operation is actually highly fragmented, divided into separate, disconnected disciplines like housekeeping, reception, and bell service. This creates an immediate operational vulnerability. If a specialized worker in any single department makes an error, the math is unforgiving. A failure in one isolated role equates to a complete failure of the entire system in the eyes of the guest. To protect the guest experience from these fragmented errors, management must organize the front office like a synchronized orchestra, operating on collective precision. When every member of the staff operates in total synchronization, the first immediate benefit is a steep drop in workplace stress. The second benefit is a sharp increase in operational efficiency, specifically during high-volume, chaotic periods. The mechanical challenge for a hotelier is figuring out exactly how to integrate these highly specialized, disconnected roles into an error-free, continuous system. Achieving flawless service delivery requires engineering the front office as a unified operational machine, removing the risk of relying on the isolated talent of any single employee. Constructing that operational harmony starts with drawing strict, absolute boundaries around individual roles. Every team member must know exactly where their responsibilities begin and end. We can map this topology starting with the receptionist. This position serves as the primary point of technical contact for the guest. The receptionist's defined boundary includes managing check-ins, executing check-outs, and maintaining exact database records. Adjacent to them is the concierge. Their distinct role is to act as the ambassador of the city, utilizing local expertise to arrange and enhance the guest's activities off-property. Completing the frontline structure is the bell staff, whose boundary is the essential physical support of the guest, including luggage handling and escort duties. The bell staff holds a unique position of influence. Because of the physical nature of their duties, they are frequently the very first and very last faces a guest interacts with during a stay. Sitting above this frontline triangle is the supervisor, functioning as the critical oversight mechanism for these specialized roles. The supervisor acts as the conductor of the operation. They maintain quality control and ensure the three distinct branches coordinate their movements without causing friction. When employees respect these distinct boundaries, they prevent overlapping tasks. A receptionist doesn't abandon the desk to handle luggage, and a bellhop doesn't attempt to manage database inputs. This strict adherence builds visible mutual trust. A clearly defined role topology forms the structural bedrock of the department. Without these rigid boundaries, service would collapse under the weight of peak operational hours. Defining the roles is only half the architecture. The operation relies heavily on the interstices, the empty spaces between these roles, where data and communication must actively flow. In a fast-paced lobby, guest itineraries, requests, and preferences are constantly shifting. Maintaining continuity of service means ensuring that updated information reaches every required department instantly. The most critical point of vulnerability for information loss occurs during the shift handover, when departing staff hand control to the incoming team. A secure handover requires transferring exact, concise data, pending guest requests, active maintenance issues in specific rooms, and arrival times of incoming VIPs. To prevent data loss, the front office utilizes the Property Management System, or PMS, alongside internal logbooks. This digital framework serves as the collective memory of the entire team. Diligent use of the PMS synchronizes these isolated, specialized roles into a highly responsive, real-time network, ensuring everyone is operating off the exact same guest data. However, digital infrastructure alone cannot manage a busy lobby. It must be paired with informal, human-driven support. This manifests in a one-team attitude. If a receptionist is suddenly overwhelmed by a long queue of arriving guests, a concierge or supervisor should intuitively step in to assist with basic inquiries, temporarily blurring their strict boundaries to relieve the pressure. This culture of unprompted, proactive help ensures that no single team member becomes isolated or buried under a sudden spike in demand. The PMS provides the hard digital infrastructure, but the intuitive cross-role support of the staff is the true lifeblood that keeps the operational nervous system functioning. Even with clear roles and strong digital systems, misunderstandings and friction are a natural, unavoidable baseline in high-pressure hotel environments. A procedural disagreement or a breakdown in communication between specialized departments creates an immediate operational bottleneck. The hallmark of a professional team is not the absence of conflict. Rather, it is the ability to operationalize the resolution of that conflict maturely. The core rule of friction management is depersonalization. Dialogues regarding errors must focus entirely on the specific service failure or procedure, stripping away the personalities or emotions of the individuals involved. When peers reach an impasse and cannot resolve a procedural disagreement, the escalation protocol requires immediate supervisor intervention. The supervisor removes the emotion from the equation, providing the objective perspective required to clear the operational blockage and restore the flow of service. Beyond reacting to friction, elite teams proactively manage it by building a highly resilient internal culture. A team that openly celebrates successful shifts and actively recognizes a colleague's hard work generates a highly contagious cycle of positivity. Maintaining a supportive demeanor and a sense of humor prevents staff burnout. It creates a warm, welcoming physical atmosphere in the lobby that arriving guests can detect instantly. Objective conflict resolution paired with a positive culture acts as the system's immune response. It prevents minor internal frictions from compounding into major guest-facing failures. The ultimate stress test for this architecture occurs during peak events, such as the simultaneous arrival of 100 guests in the lobby. A team utilizing the engineered frameworks, relying on clear role cues, maintaining PMS continuity, and executing proactive support can absorb and navigate this massive influx with complete grace. The hospitality industry is continually evolving, adopting new digital property systems and adapting to shifting guest expectations. Yet the human element of teamwork remains the single constant driving the industry. The elite hoteliers of tomorrow are defined by specific capacities: the ability to coordinate flawlessly, to offer unprompted help across boundaries, and to project a completely unified image under immense pressure. Embracing these principles of collective excellence is what upholds a luxury property's reputation at every single touchpoint, from the opening of a car door to the final invoice. The front office is a highly engineered orchestra. When constructed correctly, the operational whole is unequivocally greater than the sum of its parts.